Oh, my brother. Shh.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's edition of the Six Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Shosan, and we are in a damn hurry because, quite frankly, as geeky as we are, we still have shit to do. So thank you guys so very much for joining us this week. I am happy to introduce my awesome and illustrious
Wait, what?
co-hosts.
What?
Fuck you, Ron. Fuck you.
Okay.
You piece of...
Go.
Oh, hey, Ron. What's going on? So up first, Mr. Ron Klee joining us. Finally.
Oh, this year is dying a slow, miserable death, but it's still taking people with it.
Taking its sweet fucking time. It needs to hurry up.
2016.
I'm telling you. And then, of course, we have Mr. Pantherian.
I'm here to spend the last 1 hour of the worst year. One of the worst years ever. We didn't have the plague or anything. Also, my dad's calling, so I'll be right back.
Awesome. You do that.
To be fair, this year definitely isn't going to be the worst year ever because we still got 4 years to deal with things, If you get the drift,
I mean, getting political, I guess.
I'm not talking about the Hearthstone guy either, so anyway.
Yeah, anyway. All right, you guys. So, welcome. This is episode 98. We are going to kind of breeze through this because, quite honestly, this time of the year, things have been slow, Not too terribly much to talk about. So, up first, of course, this being a fairly, I guess, nerdy, gaming-related sort of a podcast. So, I would be remiss if I didn't send out my condolences to Carrie Fisher family, and everybody else. Unfortunately,
2016 has given an entirely new meaning to the phrase "everyone and their mother."
No, literally, that's what kills me. And the thing is, I didn't know that was her mother at first, and that's just brutal. The one of the articles that I read, and I seriously hope it's not true, but it wouldn't surprise me. They said that she had a stroke while she was over with the rest of her family discussing Carrie Fisher's funeral plans, and that's when she had her stroke. God, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
It is.
I can't even imagine, So, to start off this week, fuck you, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to hell. Anyway, we do have some gaming stuff, though. There's some interesting stuff going on. Now, Mr. Pantherian brought this to our attention, but he's sadly not here. Nintendo is rumored to be developing a set of television shows with Nickelodeon, of all people. Yeah,
I can get behind this.
I could, but the problem was they tried it with Sonic, and that was terrible. Well, that was Sega, but still, they tried those sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
And, you look back at the old live-action Mario Brothers TV show that they had.
Well, I mean, a lot of that was cartoon, too.
Well, it was, but I don't know. I don't have any faith in this doing well.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there were some fairly decent shows, like the Super Mario Brothers Super Show was pretty awesome. Captain N, the Game Master, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was like one of my favorite series growing up. Stuff like that. The Zelda series, even though that only produced 13 episodes, that was amazing television.
See, for me, if you wanted a gaming show like that, there was one, and I believe it was Nickelodeon, where they put you in front of a green screen and you would play the game. It was like an obstacle course kind of a thing. That was cool.
I remember that. Yeah. I mean, that's more of a game show type thing.
But for me, cartoons were The Tick and X-Men, and the one most people probably don't know about called Reboot. Yeah. Okay. So Reboot was a cartoon where they were all inside the computer. Picture Tron, right? Mm-hmm. If you were the program in Tron, that's how it followed. So the big guy, he was like antivirus, I think it was. And so he would go around destroying malware and viruses, but it was all inside the computer, and it was their own world.
I think I remember seeing this, and I just wasn't interested enough in it.
It was a great cartoon. I loved it.
What's a good cartoon?
That to me was good.
Reboot.
Reboot.
Reboot was awesome.
See? Thank you.
Game incoming.
Yeah. Wasn't he antivirus, right? Something like that? The main guy?
I don't know. I think he was
or was he a program?
He was like a program. Like he was the player.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Is that
And
what
like
that was? Okay.
he was like one of the co-player or whatever, and like the game would come down in the city, and then they'd play the game, and Megabyte was the bad guy. I think he was a virus.
Yep. Like I said, I remember a lot of it. It's been so long though, I can't remember accurately all of it.
I
but-
prefer Captain N, the game master.
See,
Yeah.
what I
What?
tell you, show that show was amazing.
Yes,
I
it
love
was.
that show.
And it had the Zelda segments were from Captain N, weren't they?
No, that was
Or
Super
the-
Mario Brothers Super Show.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, it
every
was
Friday they would show the Zelda instead of Mario.
Right. But Captain N was so awesome. Had
Yes.
Eggplant Wizard and King Hippo and Simon.
Mother
and-
Brain.
Yeah.
Wow.
good.
You guys are way up on this stuff than I was.
That was a great show. Like
I
I remember they-
was-
I can't believe you didn't.
They
I
played,
was
like,
busy watching The Simpsons and The Tick and
There was, like, the
X-Men.
Nintendo
That was
there was the Olympics or something. There was one I remember specifically where they like competed in the Nintendo games or whatever.
that's awesome. That's really cool. I didn't know that. No, Penn, do you remember? I was telling Ron there was a game show on Nickelodeon where they'd put you
Yeah, I
into
remember
this
this.
green
Nick
screen.
Arcade.
That's the one. Yes, I couldn't remember the name.
Because
I
they'd
didn't
like
know that either, but I remember it very well.
it'd be Mikey. Mikey was the guy, and he went around the board, and then like the guy would be like, "Pop quiz," and then they'd
Yep.
ask you a video game question, and
I
then
told
or they
Ron
had to
that
do.
was the pinnacle of gaming
well,
TV
the thing
shows
is,
for me.
they had to
I
do,
agree.
They had to do an
That's-
arcade challenge, and it was like, you're gonna play Sonic, and you have to collect 25 rings, and like they couldn't. do
30
it.
seconds.
No, well, yeah, but like they couldn't do it. Like they couldn't get 25 rings, or they couldn't make it like past the first level of Ghouls and Goblins.
Yeah,
Or-
some of these simple games.
To be
now,
fair, I don't
it's-
think I could.
Well, Ghouls and
But that was
Goblins
Ghouls
is
and Goblins.
difficult, but yeah, that one's a bitch. So
Anyway,
so yeah, that's Nickelodeon. Hopefully they do well on this. I certainly give them credit because God knows they need the income at this point, but we'll see what actually happens out of this.
yeah, I think it has the potential to be good. It also has the potential to be a very big disaster. And it seems when video games are involved with other media, that always seems to be the case. It's one extreme or the other.
Well, the reason why, like for example, Wreck-It Ralph. Okay, Wreck-It Ralph was a great movie. It was a kids movie, but it was a great movie because it was an homage to video games. It had a lot of references, but it wasn't like, let's take a video game and make it a movie.
Right.
They made a movie about video games, not a movie about a video game.
See, I just don't understand why I'm the only one that likes the Super Mario Brothers movie. Like John Leguizamo as Luigi, how could you have done better? But so many people hate
Dennis
it.
Hopkins was
Yeah, as
Koopa.
Mario. It's perfect. Perfect.
I liked it as a kid.
I still like it. I have it
okay.
on DVD. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it as good as Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
Ooh, the original Mortal Kombat is pretty epic. I hated all the others, and Street Fighter was atrocious. Oh god, that was terrible.
Jean-Claude Van Damme,
I mean,
M. Bison.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I forget the guy's name who was M. Bison, and I think
No,
that
I
was
just said Jean-Claude Van Damme was
Yep.
M. Bison.
no. Jean-Claude was Guile.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, the other guy was Bison. The Spanish guy who was in fuck, no, I don't
Looking it up
remember.
right
He had
now.
Thing.
Bison was Raul Julia.
There you go.
Oh,
him.
yeah.
And unfortunately, if I remember, that was the movie where he died. And I'm like, well, that's a terrible way to end your career, unfortunately, because that
Kylie
movie
Minogue was in it? I
Yeah.
didn't remember that.
Surprise.
Yeah, dude, I'm
I,
telling
guess
you,
I didn't realize
Anyway.
who. I knew who
all-star
she was.
cast, terrible fucking movie. It really was. But anyway, all right, let's talk games. Ron, I see
Yes.
you've got a post up here about
Oh, yeah.
factions.
Well, more specifically,
Mhm.
you guys recall not too long ago we talked about the iSigil alternate reality game, where
Oh, yeah.
the symbol kept showing up in a number of games, including Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Oh, yeah.
The most recent one was Quap, where if you go backwards a few meters, you see it. And that symbol always signified that there was a piece to a puzzle. But no one knew where the full puzzle was. We ended up with this circular looking map, but we didn't know what to use it on. Well, there was a game, I don't remember the name of the game, but it came out with some kind of letter grid. And if you placed the map on top of it, it gave you a username and password for a particular site. You go over to the site. Let's see. I don't think it said what it was, but you go to the site and plug in the username and password, and you'd get these soup review videos. But the important thing about them is that the two people doing it, one of them was from some game studio, and the other one was the guy behind the Frog Fractions 2 Kickstarter. That was like 2 years old, and no one knew where this was. No one knew where the game was coming out. And he had like been dropping hints saying, you know, this game's going to come out and you guys aren't even going to realize it's out. Well, it turns out that's exactly what happened. There's this game called Glitter Mitten Grove. And
Wow.
I want to play that now.
it released a huge update. And you go into the game and you do a particular series of things, and you get to play Frog Fractions 2. Now, if you guys don't know what Frog Fractions is, I'm not going to ruin it for you. Go play it.
Yeah, new to me. I'm not.
It's a Flash-based game. Go play it.
Is it about fractions?
At first.
This is kind of like Pony
I'm
Island.
terrible.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys will think, oh, this is just a basic game at first. But I swear to God, once you figure some things out in this game, it will blow your freaking mind. Go play
Okay.
it. Frog Fractions.
The only thing that gets me about this is the fact that, you know, I don't even know the term to use for these people who figure all this stuff out, because I hear about all this investigations and all this theory.
Nerds.
Well, no, it's
Game
more
detectives.
like conspiracy theorists, right? Because they really are. Some of this stuff is so out there and so strange. You're like, that can't possibly be a thing.
But
And
like,
yet-
as soon as you notice something weird going on, you know it's an ARG, right? Like, at this
Apparently,
point,
it's got to
some-
be at this point. I mean,
Right.
Well,
Well,
not necessarily. I mean, look at Crypt of the Necrodancer. It was an install file that was just an image. No one knew what it was for the longest time, and then all of a sudden, this image started popping up in a number of places, and that's
Right,
when
but-
people started getting suspicious. Not when it was first seen.
But what I'm saying is like conspiracy theory when you're like, oh, connect the dots, man. Like
that's what it seems like, though.
But I'm saying if
You
there's
know?
dots to connect, it's probably an ARG. Like there's if you're in real life and like you think there's a connection between the CIA and like the lady that lives down the street, you're being a little crazy.
Right.
But like if a bunch of independent games have something in common that came with an update around the same time, there's something going on there.
Yep.
It's
But I
just
mean,
funny how that
This
became
whole
a thing.
ARG, the updates to these games that included the content came well after the start of the ARG. I mean, this was going on for years, at
Yeah.
least
That's-
2 years. I mean, this is a huge ARG.
Well, that's fun.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
it is. It is. It's really cool. It blows my mind how people make these connections. It really does.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's it for all I've got. Quite honestly, it's slow. Do you guys have any other news?
There was one other. What was I saying?
What was the thing
oh,
we
yeah.
talked about? Because I
You know what today is?
What's that?
Other than the last day of the worst year in the history of mankind.
Sorry, the plague and
Yeah, sorry guys, you guys pale. Today is the 20th anniversary of the launch of Diablo 1.
oh, cool.
Yes.
I had no idea. Wow.
So we covered this before, but they're going to be doing a whole bunch of neat stuff. Like Diablo 3 is going to recreate the Diablo 1 experience. Heroes of the Storm, there's going to be a new brawl. Hearthstone, there's going to be a new tavern brawl to someone to play against. Overwatch, there's going to be some new in-game sprays and a player icon. StarCraft 2, there's going to be a Diablo-themed worker portrait. And World of Warcraft, they're going to have actually some in-game events. And you'll actually fight some denizens of Sanctuary in Azeroth. So that's no details on that one yet. That one sounds pretty interesting, though.
So I do have one more thing, and I'm trying to pull this up here. They're one of the games that I play, right? Elite Dangerous, which I've talked about a couple times now. The company who made it, Frontier Developments, for Christmas did a 24-hour live stream just for charity. And they were playing their two most popular games, which right now is Elite Dangerous and Roller Coaster World, I think it is. Pretty sure that's what it's called. Anyway,
Right.
So they were doing this for a charity called Just Giving. And these guys do development on hardware and software to make gameplay available for the more handicapped individuals who are unable to use a keyboard and mouse or a controller or whatever. They find ways to let you play the game. It's a brilliant charity, and I'm all for it. They raised £46,855. They're British, but
that's
for
like,
this charity,
that's like about $100,000.
Yeah, 24-hour live stream, just for this over Christmas, mind you. That was great. That's awesome, and I really applaud you guys. So thank you very much for doing that. That was really cool news to find. So anyway, that's all I got.
And then of course, we're coming up very soon. I think it's a week from tomorrow. Will be the first day of AGDQ 2017.
Yes. And I really can't wait for that. I love the GDQs. Love them. Love them.
Sick stuff back in AGDQ. Woohoo. Go Spooty.
Again. Yep. Definitely. You'll have my chance. Definitely. All right, you guys. So let's move on to one of the titles that we call it. So let's just figure out, what do you recommend? What do you play in Pantherian Go?
Games.
Thanks, Strong said.
I don't want to play games.
There you go.
I've been playing and failing a lot at Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, you do fail a lot at Enter the Gungeon. That's not something you can avoid.
I feel like I'm approximately as good at it as I am with Binding of Isaac, which is not saying a lot. Binding of Isaac, I'm
you
a lot.
beat me to it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the same.
It's not saying a lot. I'm better in Binding of Isaac of finding hidden rooms. I need to maybe read up a little bit on some wikis about knowing where hidden rooms are and Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah.
I've beaten the boss in the first level, I think 3 or 4 times, which, to a person that's really good at it is like, yeah, okay. But the level, and I think I said this last week, the level of difficulty between the regular rooms and the boss is substantial. Like, in a regular room, you can survive, roll around. In a boss fight, like, it takes a lot of hits to take him down.
Yep.
So I'm doing all right there. I picked up Ori and the Blind Forest, the definitive edition, in the Steam sale. It's a fantastic, beautiful game, good music. I recommend it.
I haven't played it yet, but everyone I've talked to says that's a brilliant game. You have to get it. It's up there with Braid and all the other.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes were a better love story than all of the Twilight novels.
There you go.
It's not hard to do.
It's not even a love story.
That's not hard to do.
It's about like a glowing leaf thing and their little caretaker guy. And then, my parents were here this week, and I played a bunch of Jackbox games with my family. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. It was good. We played a lot of Drawful and Bidiots, where you like draw shit on your phones.
Good.
Yeah.
And I think we said Drawful 2 was free last week on Twitch Prime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's that same thing or if it's something new. And some Witcher 3. I've got almost 50 hours and still got probably another 150 to go.
Nice.
It's probably one of my best dollar for hour investments that I've made.
Nice. All right. Well, I got to save the best for last. So heading up real quick, some of the more astute amongst you might notice these weird LEDs attached to the side of my headphones here.
He's turning into a cyborg.
Slowly but surely, I'm going Borg. I love their political stance. They're a brilliant party. Join them. Be assimilated, please. No. Okay.
Hold on. Show. No.
Come on. I'm trying to relate to some of our more sci-fi fans. No. On the point of sci-fi. Okay. So I brought it up again earlier. I am positively, absolutely addicted to Elite Dangerous, right? I keep bringing up this game. It's absolutely brilliant.
Can you trade currency in it?
No.
Oh, so like if I started playing, you couldn't like hook me up?
Sadly, no.
Well, fuck that.
Right. I would, but no, you can't. And that's I don't know. I like that about this game. There is no pay to win. You have to earn your stuff. The only thing you can buy, and I've said this before, are cosmetic things. Little bobbleheads to have in your ship, or paint for your pilot. Anyway, so I bought the HOTAS, right? My joystick, and that was a lot of fun. And then I read somewhere that you have to get this head tracker, right? If you don't have VR, get this fucking head tracker, right? And this makes everything so much better. So that's what I did, right? Now I found these guys. It's this one company, and I'm not promoting specifically them, but so this guys, they're called Natural Point, but they have this Track IR system, okay? And so you get this little infrared headset that attaches to your headphones. And then up here, and she's magnetic, so it's not a big deal, is like a little webcam thing. And that tracks all of your head movements. So now I can look around my cabin, or whatever you call it, my cockpit. I can look around freely, just small little head movements while still keeping my eyes on the screen. And that improved my gameplay even more. As a caveat, right, full disclosure, it's absolutely shit when you're trying to do anything other than combat, okay? Because most of the stuff is right there in front of you, and I'll have like an itch or something, and I kind of crane my head, and it fucks up my whole view because I move my head, and it tracks that. Yeah. But when you're doing combat, and I can actually follow you as you go around me and pilot around towards that, brilliant. It's a great investment. I really enjoy it. And seeing as how I can't afford any of the VR setups, those are way beyond my budget, this is the next best thing. So I am now at 104 hours into Elite Dangerous, and that has been my all-consuming. And then doing some more browsing just because I got to geek out a little bit over here on my iPad, which I absolutely hate. The team, or developers, I guess, called Roccat, right? You guys know Team Roccat from League of Legends, stuff like that. Well, that company does a lot of hardware and shit, but they also have some software, and they have this piece called Power Grid, right? I'll pull that up there. Well, it's a simple little deal that communicates between your computer and your tablet, and I found a deal where I can control my spaceship with different buttons, and it just sends the commands or macros or whatever directly to my computer. So now I have this other thing. It's starting to feel more and more like a spaceship around me.
Nice.
It's fucking amazing. I love it. Total immersion. I'm
That's pretty. I mean, that's what we thought the Wii U pad, or like when they promised everyone that the PSP would hook up with the PlayStation or whatever. Having those little extra screens, just those cool little things.
Yeah, I mean, I this is total immersion as far as I see it. Short of having VR and actually, kind of being in it, this is brilliant, dude. And it's cost me very, very little. Now, granted, I have invested a lot as far as hardware goes, but to me, it's worth it. Again, I'm already at 104 hours in this game. I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. It's brilliant. So that's all I've been playing. Nice. So, yeah. Anyway, Mr. Runkley, how about you, sir?
All right, so I talk about Screeps a lot, and it's kind of like a very slow-moving game, so I don't really give updates from week to week. But this last week, I had a very interesting encounter with another player who decided that from across the map, he was going to move into our sector using a portal. Pretty aggressive. So I went in, and I saw two places that he had, and there was one very close to me, and I'm like, okay, screw this. I'm going to just take him out. So I go into his room, destroy everything, and he comes in with another creep and turns on what's known as safe mode. And that basically means you can't touch the room for like 18 hours. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I go across the map about 20 squares and take out his expansion base because he can't turn it 2 rooms into safe mode at once. So, yeah, I wasn't happy with how he was moving around the map. So while his safe mode is still up, he starts doing another room that I can't really get to. So his safe mode comes down, I wipe him out again, and I try to wipe him out in this room, and as soon as I enter the room, he turns on safe mode in that room. I'm like, okay, you motherfucker. I'm getting really pissed at him. So
Ron has developed a vendetta.
So it took me like 2 days to figure out that this guy, the whole reason he was doing this is because there was a portal in one of my sectors that he wanted to go through to a place that was like completely uninhabited. And I wanted to go there too, but I didn't have a free slot to use it. So he goes through the portal, and I'm like, okay, you've pissed me off the last few days. Fuck you. I'm going to go through this portal and take you out in your new room, which is exactly what I did. And it's kind of funny because after this whole exchange, we talked a bit afterwards, and he wasn't quite sure what set me off, and it was that whole setting up safe mode the very first time. That's why I kept tracking him down. So eventually he got to where he wanted to go, and he's out of my hair, which is good. And the funny thing is, as soon as he shows up in the new sector, a couple of the rooms that he wanted to claim over there turned into a novice area that he can't get into for 3 weeks.
Nice.
So, yeah. So having fun in that game. Just hit level 6 last night. So,
I've never seen Ron go so vindictively after another player before.
Oh, man.
You didn't play a K with Ron.
You did not play a K. Well, to be fair, I did not really like... I was afraid of combat in Achaea. I could do it, but I was afraid of it. I didn't really like doing it.
I was talking less about Ronclea and more about Lorien.
Well, yeah, those are...
Ron was basically goddess of bitch.
Yeah, bitch goddess. It was great. But yeah, anyway, other games I've been playing. Descent, of course, actually kicked Morphot around a little bit in a multiplayer game. I was
sweet. Yeah, good.
And then there's that. And then, so I'm going to be picking up a more consistent streaming schedule starting with the new year. And on Wednesdays, I'm doing something called Wild Wednesdays. I showed you guys this a little earlier, but I'm going to bring it up again so that the audience can see it here.
Which a bit of suspense building here. This is really cool, and it's very nerdy.
This here is a wheel filled with all the games that I have played less than 100 hours on Steam and haven't played at all in the last 2 weeks. And the wheel goes around and around and around, and it ends up landing on something. And basically, I have to play that game for a minimum of 30 minutes. Is what
Why does my eye keep going to pornography? Robot
pornography. Yes, Dejobon games. But yeah, and like if I did this on Wednesday, I'd have to play that game for a minimum of 30 minutes. So I tried a pilot of that earlier this week, and it gave me 3 games. The first game was Space Camp.
Okay,
you guys know Space Camp. It's
difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult. I actually forgot how to play, but I got probably like two levels I hadn't done before, so that was pretty cool. I got kind of bored of it, so I spun the wheel again. The second game I got was Audio Surf.
Sweet.
Only to find out, apparently, they're out of business.
No!
If you go to audio-surf.com, their site is currently under maintenance. So I played a bunch of Necrodancer songs, but there's no leaderboards, and that's kind of the point. So I stopped that, and I made the mistake of spinning a third time.
Uh-oh.
Dark Souls.
Here goes.
No, worse. Amnesia.
No.
The
that
Dark
game is
Descent.
evil. Pure.
My Little Pony Island Adventure.
No, that's not even listed.
That would have been less evil. Yeah, this one's pretty bad.
Yeah, this one is way more evil.
It's not that bad.
Oh man, it's jump scares.
It is, and I'm terrible at jump scares.
The thing that about the survival horror genre, the thing that makes me most frustrated is that the resources are so scarce.
Right.
Yeah.
To make you worried. Like, not because you need to be strategic with them, just to make it so you run out a lot. So like your tinder boxes and your oil and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's more frustrating than scary to me. Because I'm like, oh, I'm going to go into an area where I can't get into, and then I'm going to run out of shit, and then I'm going to lose.
See, I'm all about the jump scares, and that's my problem. So, like, I played Slender Man, and I damn near pissed myself. Like, I won't play those games. I hate it because I get so engrossed, in this world and in what I'm doing, that the second something pops out at me, I lose my shit.
Now, to be
And-
fair, I'm not as bad as Shosan. I watched Shosan play a little bit of Dark Descent on his stream like a year or so ago,
Yeah, about a
and
year.
that was quality entertainment.
It's terrible.
It's quality entertainment.
There,
Has not been. I have not reinstalled it since.
there are whole YouTube channels of people playing stuff like that, which
Yeah,
is
so-
fun.
And then the final thing that I've been playing that I wanted to bring up was a game called Distance. If you search Survive the Distance, you'll find it a lot easier. This is the racing game. I've talked about this before. They've released a massive update where you can download up to 20 replays of other players and race against them at the same time. And it makes doing the leaderboard chasing on that game so much more satisfying because you can see what the other people are doing. You can see the problems that you have, and you can figure out what's faster a lot.
They should have that Necrodancer.
No, it's a roguelike. That wouldn't even work.
But you put in seeds, don't you?
Yeah, we do, but I mean, that's not quite the same thing. You wouldn't want to.
But
Be
then
able
you can race somebody.
No, there's too much RNG. Like bats are different from even unseeded. The bats are different. The spawns of
Well,
teleporting
it'd be
enemies are-
close.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Wow, okay, fine.
You can still watch the replays, but you can't play against them at the same time.
Yeah.
But yep. So yeah, I'm going to be playing. Sundays I'm going to do some coding and do some 6 degree games. Mondays I'll be doing Necrodancer, and Wednesdays will be the random thing. Also, a week from today I'm going to be restarting the Observatory series for Descent.
Nice.
So I'll be
Oh, fun.
And that's
Okay. Well, before we move on to my favorite part of the show, and trust me, I've been waiting for this, right? Just waiting. I do have to bring this up, and unfortunately, my cohorts here won't see this, but
No.
so
Do screen share.
Veg,
Screen share.
Screen
yeah,
share.
let me see what I can do here. So Veg put up this post on Facebook, and it is completely me.
Jesus.
There you go. Hopefully, you guys can see that.
It's
Yeah.
got
Right.
small.
He says it's just a game.
Just a
Stay
game.
calm, but the inner me.
Yeah.
Throw your controller at the wall.
That is
Yeah,
very
I
much-
tagged you
That's
in
exactly me. Right. So Panther tags me in it, and I'm like, holy shit, that is exactly me. What the hell is going on?
To be fair, that meme
Why
is
did they-
very overused and has gotten bad.
Yeah, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was pretty amusing. Anyway,
Every once in a while, a bad meme pops up and gets overused, and that's like
right. That's one of them. I'll agree, but that one kind
But
of.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of funny.
All
Did
right.
you see?
So,
Did you see Lorna's? I don't know if that was actually Lorna's drawing.
Yes, she's a great drawer.
You saw her
she
drawing?
is.
The one of
Harley.
Harley.
Yep, I sure did. Yeah, she's very good. I
You should
didn't
get-
save it, but
You should
It was
you
good.
should commission her to do a drawing of Harley for you.
I should. I really should. Thing is, I got to be a little hipster about it. I was big into Harley before Harley got popular.
Sure. Well, you can.
That's true.
I bet she'll draw the WB Harley.
Yeah, that's all I want. I'm not
Mr.
huge into
J.
anyone.
Mr.
No, I love the accent. Yeah. Now, for Christmas though, I don't have it down here, but I did get. What are those Funko Pop little
Mhm.
figures, right, with the big head or whatever? I did get one of those with the new Harley Quinn, so that's kind of cool. I enjoy it.
Of course you
it's up
did.
on my shelf. Anyway, all right, you guys, that's enough sidetrack. Let's talk about my favorite part of the show. It's the 6 Gaming Roundtable. So this one's really easy, and I take my inspiration from a well-known source. So this week's roundtable, if you guys don't know, I'm getting sidetracked. The roundtable is where I
Really?
ask you guys a question, both my co-hosts as well as my Austrian and illustrious chat here. I ask you guys a question and I kind of expect an answer. So if you don't give me
God
an
damn
answer, well, you know what? Fuck you. I don't. No, I like you guys anyway. Anyway, all right. So this week I did have to ask a question because this is the end of the freaking year. So taken from Steam, what would be your guys' pick for Game of the Year?
Oh man.
And that this can be older games, mind you. But what do you think is still the Game of the Year?
It is hard, very hard
That's what she said.
to argue.
Good one.
It
Nice.
is very hard to argue with against Overwatch. Very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that's already won a whole bunch of Game of the Years, but
It's
I mean,
doing well. Yeah.
A lot of people were not expecting a whole lot out of Blizzard, and what Blizzard provided went beyond a lot of people's expectations.
Yeah.
They copied Team Fortress and made it better, which is
I mean, yeah,
It's kind of hard to do, though. I mean,
Yeah.
Team Fortress was great.
yeah.
Is great.
I mean,
From
no
it-
one's been able to copy WoW and make it better.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I mean, that team does have something. Well, for me, I mean, it should be no surprise for you guys. I've already invested so
Really
much,
dangerous.
but there you go.
yeah.
Perfect. I love this game. I don't know what it is about it.
I need to give it a
it's-
shot because it's a space game.
It's not
Shot.
since World of Warcraft have I ever been so engrossed in a game. And it's kind of nice to do something different and yet still have that enthusiasm and that draw. And yeah, I love this game. And Ron, I think you might like it. It's a
Yeah.
free, 6 degrees of motion kind of a thing. When I say free, you do whatever you want, however you want, and just have fun.
I apparently own Elite Dangerous Arena, which is like a PvP version.
It is.
of it.
It's just PvP. It's
So
now
maybe I'll-
changed.
I might try that out just to see if
It's-
I like the gameplay, and then
It's rough if
Buy
you're
the
going to
game.
get into it because these guys invest literally millions of credits into their ship.
sure, but just to
And-
see like between the graphics and like the handling, like if I
Yeah.
like that.
And that's just it. So Obadiah and Norik, some of the guys I've been playing with,
Speaking
they're
of
playing it
Obadiah,
in 4K graphics, and they said they love it, and this is a beautiful game. And I put screenshots up. You have all of Sagittarius A, aka the Milky Way galaxy, as your playground. The entire galaxy. Go have fun, explore, trade, do whatever.
And you don't have to go to the center of it.
No, you don't. There are plenty of black holes. I've actually found several neutron stars that have tried to kill me. I've found several. I've found some remnants of a supernova that have tried to kill me. Yeah, it's a cool game. It's a lot of fun. So
Cool.
that's my pick of the year, definitely. So, Pent, how about you, man?
I'm probably gonna have to say Witcher 3 right now.
I
It
knew
won-
Good man. I
won
knew
last
it.
year.
I'm
Yeah.
not upset
Um,
with that either.
It's
No,
honestly
at all.
like because I remember I was playing Witcher 2 after I think 3 had already launched, and I was still playing 2, and I finished it out, and I was like,
Mister,
okay,
I'm going to write so much in my book before I get 3.
Did that
yeah,
happen?
I wrote like 10,000 words, and I bought 3, and then the election happened, and I kind of lost on my creativity.
Fair enough.
Maybe you should get back into it.
I will. I'm gonna finish it eventually. Next couple of years, it'll be.
Next couple years.
It sounds like a true writer.
Yeah. So anyway, no, like I see why it won all the awards. I mean, it's just an enormous amount of stuff to do. It tickles the same thing that WoW does, right? Like you do some quests, you look at your quest log, you do some more quests, you get some more quests, you follow some trails. Gwent is amazing, which is the card game within the game.
I couldn't figure it out.
Um, It's basically so you have your 3 rows. You have close combat, ranged, and like ballistas. Like
I
really
was hoping to
like-
get to hear Ron mispronounce melee.
Neely. It's not mispronounced.
yeah.
We've
Anyway,
been over this.
so you have your 3 rows. You can put your guys on the rows, and then you can create effects like you can create icy weather, and that reduces both sides. So it's not just your enemy, but it reduces your close combat to 1 power, unless they're a hero.
Right.
And then you can do like fog, and that reduces the ranged, and torrential downpour reduces the siege weaponry, basically.
Right.
And so you each start with 10 cards, and you place the card. You take turns placing cards, and sometimes there's like special cards, like the weather ones. There's special cards that like double the strength of a row, but like maybe your enemy doubles the strength of their best row, and then the next turn I make that row turn all to 1 power, and so it's best of 3 basically. And so
You're given the Steam Award of Game Within a Game.
I gave the Steam Award of the Game Within a Game. I think it's a lot of fun. Like, so I was really bad at Triple Triad in Final Fantasy VIII.
Mm-hmm.
Which was like you put cards in a 9-card grid, and each of the cards had numbers on each of the 4 sides, and so you wanted to beat the cards that were next to it.
I wasn't good at that either.
No, I was horrible at that.
Yeah,
but like I've collected a Gwent deck that like I'm winning almost every game that I play in the game, and it's a lot of fun. So it's just overall it's a good game. So in a lot of games when you're like Mass Effect, your shepherd is your shepherd. Like you can be anyone you want. Geralt is a specific character. Like if you haven't read the books or like read the stuff in the game, like Geralt as a Witcher is not supposed to get involved in bullshit that doesn't matter to him. He's supposed to kill monsters and complete the thing that he needs to complete. Right. But of course I just go through and I'm like, oh hey buddy, oh someone stole your checkbook. Let me get that back for you. Like I go into a bar and like beat the crap out of everyone in the entire bar and get back the guy's checkbook, and then find out that like he lost it in a bet or something like that. So then I punch him and get his checkbook back from him. Like,
oh jeez,
that's awesome. I gotta play more of this.
It is a fun game, and I like the combat. And just it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of content, and all of it matters. So
yeah, and that's something rarely seen, mind you, in games today. So awesome. All right, you guys. Well, let's go ahead and wrap things up. We've all got things to do tonight. We're getting dreadfully close.
This year, finally over.
Terribly, terribly close. So I'm going to cut out our host and just say good night. So definitely good night. But I do have to let my awesome and illustrious set of co-hosts as well say good night. So please, Mr. Pentharian, would you?
Oh, yeah. So
yeah, hi.
No, well,
the family. I like
part of it was like last year I watched the stuff on TV. I was like, I don't know who any of these artists are, and I don't like any of them.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I'm not watching
pretty
tonight,
much.
But
so I'm gonna watch the ball drop, and that's it.
So
there is interestingly on Netflix. There's a bunch of like fake countdowns for kids, so you can like, oh, we're gonna watch the ball drop.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And then they're like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay, Happy New Year. And you're like, oh, Happy New Year, buddy. And then you send them off to bed.
That's great. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Mr. Runkley.
Fuck you, 2016.
Well,
fuck you.
I like it. So for me, definitely good night. I would like to mirror Ron's, of course, hatred of this year, but yeah, definitely, you guys, thank you very much for joining us. I realize that a lot of you are probably watching this in retrospect, and there's nothing wrong with that. Thank you anyway. So, Mr. Runkley, I would be remiss if I didn't let you end with the final word. So, would you please take it away?
4, 3,
no, not that word.
2, 1. See you. Bye.